about the all of these wild news stories. Boy, we were covering crazy news before all the news was crazy news, Danny.
I know.
We really were.
It's really been concentrated into one
first on the scene,
solid crazy news theme.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Looks like we're live in the Facebook group. Let's check Twitter. Check the tube. Let us know your comments as well.
Let me retweet you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Looks good. All right. Ready to go for some news AF here. We just record the podcast version. All right. You guys good? Hi to Nita.
I'm good. I do want to do an Instagram story during my intro real quick. So
you got it. So I'll throw it to you, and then you Instagram story.
Okay.
So intense.
All right, we'll get it right.
Tell me when I should hit record.
And then I hit record now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yep. Here we go. All right. Let me see. Is anybody on YouTube? Let me get a chat from. I want to make sure our YouTube is up and running. Also,
yeah. All I'm seeing is Facebook right now.
Just a Facebook comment. But I know we're live on Twitter.
Yeah.
On Periscope.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll see if we've got that going. Okay.
Maybe just the comments aren't coming through.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, thank you, Nita. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Nita.
And
I think she's Natasha. So probably Natasha.
Oh. This is like a handle? Yeah.
It's just a handle so that her family can't track her down on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that true?
Let's see. Okay. See, I think we might be let's see. On YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We are live. We are live under the name Big Brother Canada 8 March 24th overnight update. Okay, so that's we are there on the YouTube. Okay, there we go. So okay, yes, all right, there we go. Thank you. All right. So you guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Rob Cesternino back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of March 24th, 2020 here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yeah, that's right. News AF is here, Tuesday edition, and here with a man who is on Instagram right now, the great Tyson Apostle. Tyson, how are you?
Whoop, whoop. Well, I'm not on Instagram right now, but I do need to get on and do a story real quick. But first, I'm doing great. I ordered a trampoline for the girls, put it in my backyard,
Awesome.
figured
Nice.
if everything passes over in time for me to return it, I will.
Mm-hmm.
And I also ordered a pull-up, dip, push-up, leg lift apparatus for my backyard that I've been going out and doing exercises on as well, which reminds me, I do need to get on Instagram real quick before too much time passes.
Okay.
Here we go, okay?
Okay.
Hey guys, what up? Sorry, I am actually recording my podcast right now, and I forgot to hit the record button on my workout this morning. I did 4,000 burpees in under 10 minutes. So that's my new record. And I also did a bunch of muscle ups, like almost infinity trillion muscle ups. It was so awesome. And then I ran 10 feet. And then I did push-ups where you do the clappy thing. I did 700,000 of those. And now I'm exhausted. So tomorrow's recovery day where I only do half of that stuff. So looking forward to it. I can't wait to work out even more and show you guys all the videos of me just working out. And I'm going to do even more squats, even more everything. I promise more working out in the future. There we go.
That was intense.
Tyson, what is this piece of apparatus that you're talking about that you ordered it or you already have it?
I ordered it on Amazon. It's got a pull-up bar on it. It has a dip bar on it. It has a leg lift thing on it, and it has some push-up handles on the bottom of it.
Okay.
It's a standard little gym piece of equipment thing that you can find.
Okay.
Are you going to put it outside and turn your backyard into Venice Beach?
I already put it outside, but it's on my
Beach.
back patio, kind of
Muscle
hidden in
Beach.
hidden. Yeah, it is Muscle Beach out there, except for, I don't know if you know this, but Arizona is a few hours away from any beach.
Well, this is exciting. So you're going to get rid of your dad bod in quarantine?
No, I doubt it. I mean, I'm probably mostly just going to look at the apparatus and think, you know, what'd be cool is if I got shredded by doing a bunch of stuff on that thing.
You'll probably just use it to hang like wet clothing or
I will.
towels from
Yeah,
swimming.
exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it's
I've
gonna
gone
be
the
used
other
for.
way. I've put a stripper pole in my house. In the
Oh,
you're
basement.
gonna
really,
do that?
Danny?
Dude, that's a cool
I'm going to work out. super hard.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Very
well,
smart.
the man who invented the stripper pole workout for men, Danny Bryson.
I wonder if men have the appropriate weight to strength ratio for a stripper pole. You know, like might just be too much, you know, weight. Just you got to get reinforcements on your ceiling and your floor.
That could be. Also, you probably have to strap your package up nice and tight because I think swinging on that pole too hard in certain directions and areas could cause some pinching.
Yeah, I wear a banana sling because I want to minimize clothing, so I don't want it to get caught anywhere.
Yeah, you probably lube up nice too, but you have to have Liz lube you up because you can't have your hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to like put chalk on your hands. Danny, that I don't remember my Magic Mike 1 or 2. Is the stripper pole involved in the men's exotic review?
No, men usually, as far as I know,
leather chaps and hip thrusting, right?
Yeah, they don't do a lot of pole work, right?
No, not a lot of
swing
pole
around,
work.
but
Chairs,
feet are on the ground still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
bring in a
chair play.
Chair play is the big thing. They like to come in fully dressed. It's the reveal that's most exciting.
Yeah.
Come in. Oh, there's a
Not
cop
even the
here,
reveal,
run.
the tease of the reveal. I think the reveal is kind of disgusting where they're like, penis.
No,
But
you
like,
don't want to completely reveal. Nobody wants to see
it's
that.
like, I'm going to show you. And then whether or not you do is irrelevant.
That's what's so exciting is that the possibility.
That's the part that piques everybody's interests.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Danny, how's everything at your house?
It's out of control. I try to be gone as much as possible. You know, just like hiding in the mountains, sitting in parking lots in my car, just waiting for time to pass because there's kids at my house now all day long.
Yeah.
School's not doing its job. It's just sent out an email yesterday saying it's going to extend our responsibilities for teaching our kids for another like month and a half.
Yeah.
I'm like, just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. Just say you're not going to reopen your schools and that we're going to have to continue to give our kids a poor education.
Yeah. I think that's the case. Yeah. We're on summer break, Danny. Nobody wants to say it.
I know. That's the thing. The governor knows that is the more dangerous thing to say than almost anything else. He's like, oh, by the
parents
way,
will riot. Yeah.
The parents, no. So,
what a dream scenario, though, for like junior high and high school students, right?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this because if I was a grade school kid or like a junior, like I'd be excited to not go to school. But then also being cooped up with your parents 24/7 seems less than desirable.
Right.
Yeah. Every morning
and being forced to do school in front of them. Can you imagine? Like you're like, okay, Dad, now I have to do division. And then you get it wrong, and it's just like,
what the hell?
I'm so disappointed. I'm just disappointed.
Right. The best part of being a teenager is like when your parents leave. Then it's sort of like, okay, well now I've got the whole house to myself. Whereas then this is not happening. It's your parents are home. It's just like everybody's grounded.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, that is true. And I think the other thing too is that I don't know where I'm going with any of it. I had the thought and then it left my head.
The truth is,
so if somebody can tell me what I was thinking, let me know.
As Tyson said in the pre-show, his kids are still relatively young.
Yeah, it's easy.
Rob and I have children that are moving into like the obnoxious area of life.
Yeah,
like,
how old is your oldest, Danny?
Is 10.
Okay. All right. So you're a little further along than I am.
And it's like they want to play with friends and they want to fight you over math, which, by the way, I didn't know that my math education ended at 2nd grade. But it turns out that that's about the extent of my math.
I've been saying that too. I was like, Rachel, do you realize that my dad helped me with math when I was like in 8th and 9th grade doing algebra stuff? And now, like, I'm like, I couldn't help anybody with algebra, even though I have years and years past algebra under my belt that I did at one time. And I'm just like, I can't even believe that my dad did all that math. He is a construction guy where they do use that type of math. So I guess maybe, but still, I'm like, if Bergen was like 13 and it was math, like I'd have to watch YouTube every single night to figure out how to do math.
Yeah. It's no joke.
It is no joke. Are you doing math, Rob? Are you doing math over at your house?
No, I mean, my kids are so little that we're not doing anything that's too complicated. Addition, subtraction, that's about all that we're doing. Danny, are you teaching any subjects at your homeschooling establishment?
Somehow, I got the responsibility of teaching my 4-year-old, so I don't have to deal with the other two.
It sounds like you probably appointed yourself.
I did in a way. Like, my wife likes to brag about how much she knows, and so I've kind of reinforced that.
Like, prove it.
Yeah, prove it. Oh, you're so good with that. And I'm such an idiot. So I got the 4-year-old, and she battles the other two. But me and the 4-year-old have a great time. We do coloring. We're learning our colors. We're doing simple math that I can handle. 2 + 2 = 5, and books like Bob and Dot. So that's about my level.
Bob and Dot is a book.
Yeah, that we read.
Yeah, could you give us the plot real quick?
Yeah. Well, that's not really the title, but it's about a kid who has a dog and a cat. The dog is named Dot, and the cat is named Socks, and they run into a box and get jam spilled on them, and the mom's not mad, which that makes this fiction. But the mom hands the kid the mop, and the kid gladly cleans it up. So it's just a big lie.
Yeah, it's a lot of lies.
That is real. That's about the level of my education. That's what I can give the world right there.
So the kid makes a mess. The mom doesn't get mad. The kid then cleans up the mess.
Smile on his face. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, dude.
Did she threaten the child?
It doesn't look like it. Her face isn't even that threatening. The mom's, whereas the reality would be the complete opposite.
And did the child do like a real clean job, or just like kind of smush stuff around and make it worse and then leave?
Well, it appears to me at the end that the cat and dog still have quite a bit of jam, and that's just going to further spread the jam. So it's been kind of like a superficial cleanup. He didn't really get into the other nooks and crannies.
Yeah. Well, at least that part's staying true then to life.
Yeah. So exciting. It's exciting over here. A lot is happening.
Okay.
I've been watching so much TV too.
Yeah. Anything good?
We have been watching Tiger King on Netflix.
Oh, yes. Hey, yeah, right? What about that? We talked about that so long ago.
I listened to the podcast and we talked about it on here. We talked about Joe Exotic running for president. Yes. So we were way ahead of the curve on that one, way ahead of the flattening curve.
Yes. Yes, we were. Did you like it?
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. We have a couple episodes left, but it's great.
Yeah,
it really is. It's, I mean, if you want to see like the real, like gritty American culture that like, I have traveled a lot of places and seen a lot of things and met a lot of people, but like this collection of characters that they have in this show, it's like maybe in passing once in a while in a Walmart or something, I'll be like, hey, Rachel, check out that guy. Yeah. But this is like full blown, like 40 of them.
It's like an Avengers of Florida men.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I watched the Mark Maron comedy special on Netflix, which was also very good.
Are you a big Mark Maron guy?
I love his stand-up. His podcast is a little repetitive, but I guess maybe all podcasts are. He's just like, hey, guys.
How dare you?
I don't know. I'm just that I didn't want somebody else to say that before I did.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts, Tyson?
I listen to some. I used to listen to a lot more. Mm-hmm. Now I listen to Mortified. I listen to the Canadian. Mortified is people sharing stuff they wrote as kids, like years and years ago. And then so it could be diaries. It could be like school assignments. It could be whatever. Most of it's funny. Some of it's like eye-opening and lesson learning and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I listen to the Canadian version of that, which is stuff we wrote as kids or something. And that's I think even a better series than Mortified.
Yeah.
And then I also listen to the Jeselnik Rosenthal Offensive. That's Anthony Jeselnik, the comedian's podcast. That's decent.
There's so many podcasts I don't even know about.
I listen to the last podcast on the left, which goes into a lot of like right now they're just covering all the JFK conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
And then I listen to those are the ones that I kind of look forward to. I do listen to News AF after record every week to see how I can make it better. But then I don't ever take any notes to make it better. I just laugh at us. Like I'll sit there in bed laughing and Rachel's like, what are you? And I'm too ashamed to be like, I'm just listening to myself. Laughing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Danny, are you a podcast guy?
Tried. I have one podcast. I've tried Joe Rogan. They're just too long.
Yeah.
You know,
I go with the shorter ones.
And I will sometimes
2X.
Yeah, well, I can't do that either.
What's the perfect length of time for a podcast?
An hour, I feel like. But having said that, the podcast I do listen to, it's not even a podcast. I don't know. It's on podcast, but it's like 4 or 5 hours long. He only puts out like 5 or 6 of them a year, maybe max.
Hardcore History.
Hardcore History. Yeah. And I re-listen to those all the time.
What do you listen to when you're out like on these adventures or like hiking up a mountain?
His heavy breathing.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah.
His own heavy breath is erotic.
The beating of my heart inside my head. No, I listen to music
in your face
for the most part. I do try. I've tried books. I try podcasts. I try comedy things. But like, I don't know why the spoken word when you're in suffering is not what you want to hear. You want something that you can like mindlessly just have wash over you.
You know what? When I used to work out with Danny, what I used to listen to?
My gentle voice.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I would put down all distractions, and Danny and I would just have heart to hearts, and complain about how great our lives are. If we could just have those days again.
Yeah. When you complain about how great your life is it like that? I wish there was some more pain in my life.
Yeah. No, it's just like, oh man, I can't believe that. My dad's only giving me this amount of money this month. And
It's funny. I was talking to a guy yesterday about hardship. Having this exact conversation about what podcasts we listen to when we exercise. Seriously, exactly.
Deja vu.
Yeah. And I always like to imagine that somewhere in some country is the one guy in the entire world who has a right to complain. The guy who's unplugging sewers in Bangladesh. You know what I mean? Who comes home every day and washes off who knows what from his body. Yeah. He's like the one guy who can gripe.
Well, that's what I told you that many, many years ago. There's only one guy in the entire world, could be a male or female, who can actually can't say, well, there's somebody who's worse off than me.
Yeah.
There's only one person at the very, very bottom.
Do you know who it is? Or
we don't. We got to find out who that is.
We should find out who he is. And then, hear what he has to say. Maybe I bet you he
make
might
everybody
not
else feel better.
Yeah, make everybody feel better. Even like number 2 at the bottom is probably like, oh, at least I'm not him.
But then if you made that guy famous, isn't he better immediately?
Yeah, and then it's rotating. So the trick is to always take the very bottom person, lift them up, and then go back down and pick the next guy up. And
keep finding,
ever changing. So then you're slowly improving the planet over time.
There's a good podcast.
Okay.
Hunt for the person who has it the worst off in all of the world, and then find them, make their life better, and then go on to find the next one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's start with some positive news, I guess, today. So look, So many people are in self-isolation. We're further apart than we've ever been right now, as everybody's experiencing this this period where we're trying to keep everybody safer from the coronavirus. But the phone call, Danny, this is great news. The phone calls are back.
Not great news. And by the
crazy.
way, the phone call isn't so great. What should be coming back is FaceTime. My
FaceTime is what's coming back. They just said phone call, but it is FaceTime video chat
and phone call
and phone call. I'm sure, but like my phone will ring and I'll look at it. I'll be like, I haven't heard from this person in years, and it's FaceTime even, and you're like, well, I got nothing better to do right now. So you gather the family around your device and hang out, and
it's either this or the crippling boredom. So okay, exactly. Sure.
Well, my phone automatically sends you to my message machine if I don't have your number in my phone. I don't answer phone calls most of the time.
Yeah, I don't either. I screen them.
Yeah, and the problem with phone calls, and this has been a problem for me since the very first phone call I ever made, I have no idea what the other person is doing. Yes. Like, I don't know what the other person I'm talking to is doing. Well, I want your undivided attention if I'm calling you. I don't want to call you in the middle of a dump. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to be fiddling with something. I don't want you to be making, I think maybe
fiddling with what exactly? Like,
well, there's so much to fiddle with these days. But it all stems back to like early days, junior high days, when you would call a girl's house and her brother would answer or her dad, and you'd ask for her. And there was just too much unknown going on in the background that it really gave me this anxiety that I've carried through my whole life, where now when I make phone calls, I imagine all of the things that could possibly be going on at the place where the person receiving my call is. And it's like, I just can't handle it. There's too much. I don't know.
So the FaceTime is better for you.
Oh, yeah.
Right now I have a mosquito that I was chasing as you were saying that. Was that bothering you?
Yeah, but remember, it goes back to junior high.
I caught it with my thumb and finger out of the sky.
Yeah, good work, Karate Kid.
Okay, this goes all the way back to junior high when you were the only kid in junior high with a cell phone in the early 90s.
No, it didn't even have to do with cell phones. You remember the
like
days
Zach
you had
Morris?
to call? You had to call a home phone. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was just like there was giggling going on, and there was all of these things going on.
I remember
there was like a 90% chance you had to leave a message for someone who probably wasn't the person you were trying to reach.
And you don't know that you can't see the face of the dad you're talking to, or the brother, or the brother's friends, and it's just like it was.
I don't know anything about this calling a house and asking for a woman.
Yeah, you never did that.
I don't think so. I can't recall a time that happened to me.
Dude,
no, I don't think any girl would. I think that if she was there, she'd be like, "I'm not here."
I even remember like my girlfriend
right
calling my house and my mom or sister or somebody being like, "Hey, Tyson, it's so and so," and I'd run down. And our only phone in our house growing up was in my parents' master bedroom.
Oh wow! Whoa. Oh,
yeah, so you had to go into the master bedroom to answer the phone.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, it's forever created an anxiety with me in phone calls, just because.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
maybe you have it worse than anybody maybe you are the guy on the bottom.
No, I don't, because I don't answer phone calls. I don't take phone calls.
Even now.
I don't make phone calls. No, I prefer text. I mean, just text.
Are you texting more than normal?
No, because
if I called you and you weren't doing anything, you wouldn't answer.
No, Tyson. There's a small select group.
I feel like you would, because you'd be like, WTF is he calling me? It's probably some type of emergency. And then I'm like, hey, Danny, what are you doing? I just wanted to chat.
One last thing with phone calls, and this is something that is probably just me. I always feel like the person on the other end wants to get off the call. And so I'm like trying to time, like I'm overthinking, like timing this just right, where I can get out the necessary information, but end it before the person thinks I'm sucking up all their time.
You want to go out on a high note.
Go out on a high note. And I also feel like they're maybe trying to get off the call when they're not. I'm just putting all of these like emotions and needs into their end of the phone call. So it's just stress inducing.
I'd rather not definitely let you know when I'm done talking to you, because I'll shut down completely. Like you're like, so what are you doing? I'll be like, mm-hmm. And
but that's the difference. I said I can read you.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I can read you and know when you
as soon as I say okay, you know I'm done.
It's tough. Phone calls are an art. To have a phone call, a conversation on phone is an art, and it's just not one I mastered.
Okay.
See you, Tyson.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, that's it for us.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I agree, but it is crazy. And it's also kind of fun to get some blasts from the past of people calling you. If you have my phone number out there and I know you didn't like cyber stalk it somehow, you can call me. I might not answer, but I might.
Danny
and also call Danny. Danny's number violently. Is 801-342-8716.
Some poor bastard somewhere about to get a bunch of phone calls. No, none of that is true, Tyson. I don't want to blast from the past. Don't suck me back into your world with your problems. I've got enough
my problems. I don't have any
you.
problems.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you're telling me you're getting phone calls from people you haven't heard from in years. I don't want to, someone I haven't talked to in a decade, catch up, tell me about it.
For sure. That's because you went to the rich kids school in the Valley. So like a guy calling you is going to be like, hey, I just got out of prison for a lot of drugs and I work for the city and my parents, they finally cut me off and it's pissing me off. No. So will you help me rob my parents so that I can sell stuff for drugs?
Someone calling you out of the blue is never a good thing. They're not calling to chat. This isn't a social call.
You are like,
can you lend me some money?
What do they want?
Or I need a place to stay. I just got divorced. I heard we match our blood types. A decade-old friend calling you is not a good thing, Tyson.
This is the best because this is what runs through your mind. And I've had these phone calls before. And they're just like, hey, just calling to check in, see what's going on. Everything here is awesome, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I totally misjudged this whole situation. And then at the very end. So anyways, I'm opening a restaurant and I need, and you're like, what, dude? I was right the whole time. I can't believe this. So yeah, it is. But that's part of the fun.
Don't answer those phone calls.
Yeah.
Don't answer those phone calls.
Okay.
It's part of the fun.
Danny, what's the cutoff? I haven't talked to this person in X amount of time. I know Tyson does not want any algebra questions. But
I think like 3 years.
3 years. So if you haven't talked to this person in 4 years, don't answer the phone.
6 months.
6 months.
6 months?
What can happen in 6 months?
So
I mean, come on.
I think 1 year. I think 1 year.
Okay, fine. I'll give you 1 year. I wouldn't do it.
So if Brant called you, Danny, you wouldn't answer the phone.
Oh, I would answer the phone for Brant. Remember, wait, hold on. Let me clarify.
When's the last time you talked to Brant?
I haven't. No. There are different tiers of individuals, right?
Okay. You have so this guy's on upper tier, even though he's on answer tier, even though you haven't talked to him.
Well, we don't know who that is. Who's Brant?
He was a really good friend for a while. Yeah. I traveled a lot with him. I ice climbed with him, so I know him pretty well. Yes, I would take his call. Also, knowing his nature, I don't think he's going to give me a call for money to open a restaurant. Which, by the way, bad timing on his part if he is going to call me.
If he's trying to opening a restaurant right now.
Adam in the YouTube chat says 2 weeks if he hasn't heard from somebody. Don't answer the phone.
Oh, I like that. He's playing it safe. He's playing it safe.
Wow. Is that millennial Adam or a different Adam?
Different Adam.
But still also could be a millennial.
Could be. All right. I saw this story and I couldn't help but think of Danny of that.
I saw this.
Is it a phone call one?
No. There was a couple who were accused of panic buying at their local Kroger in Kentucky as they were attempting to purchase 23 cases of Mountain Dew at their local Kroger, Tyson. And then the woman working there said that they were not allowed to purchase that much Mountain Dew, which amounts to 552 cans of Mountain Dew. And they threw a major fit at Kroger.
Why couldn't you buy that? I don't see what the deal is.
Yeah, they need to call their lawyer because that's Dew shaming.
Dew shaming.
Yeah, that is Dew shaming. And the other thing too is it's like,
douche shaming or douche shaming?
No. Dew, D-E-W, Dew shaming.
The Dew is fine because what you're doing is getting it off the shelves for people who are trying to be healthy. And it's not I don't know, is there a Dew shortage that people are all trying to share? It's like
Liz was telling me that I was more prone to coronavirus because of all of my Mountain Dew consumption, but I countered with
negate it with the exercise.
No, I've been drinking so much Mountain Dew. I've been preserving my organs with artificial preservatives. So I actually have like a fine defensive mechanism around everything.
Yeah, I believe the Mountain Dew kills anything. You could use that instead of, everybody's buying all these like
no.
wipes.
We don't want to go down
Mountain Dew on things, right? Is that?
I should
try. I should try to see if I clean an
don't
old
think
rusty.
so.
No, we're joking. We're joking.
not doctors here. We're not doctors here. Yep. Just follow medical advice from medical professionals only, especially in this climate.
Yes. So Tyson, you have no problem with 552 cans of the Mountain Dew?
No, let them buy it.
No, I disagree. I disagree that there should be a limit on that. Basically, that they're trying to do like one thing at a time. Like, all right, you can't buy 2 things of toilet paper now. You can't buy 2 things. Just whatever the number is. Okay, you can't buy more than 3 of whatever.
No, it should be a week's worth. Because whatever is defined as a week's worth of stuff.
Well, this could be a week's worth for them.
It could be, and if they're bathing in it and they've like shut their water off and are just like dumping it into their house water system, for sure. But
awesome. That'd be so awesome to turn on the sink.
I just think
comes out.
You see
wash
people
your face with it.
Buying things like this. I think it's like, oh wait, they're buying all the Mountain Dew. Oh, we better buy all of this thing that we like.
Well, that's how the toilet paper thing started. One guy was like, I need toilet paper. And then everybody's like, there's a run on the toilet paper. And everybody's like, let's buy it all. And now that's how it is. Like, everybody's just like, well, toilet paper is hard to come by unless you are 60 or over and get to go in the grocery store early.
Yeah.
And so now everybody's trying to buy it up for no reason at all that I can even, because I could I could think of 1,000 different ways to clean my butt, well, not 1,000.
Maybe you should write 4. A book, 1,000 ways to clean your butt.
You just get in the shower right afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. I don't doubt that works, but I don't know. It seems
you don't
messy.
doubt that cleaning your butt in the shower works.
Well, like cleaning your butt.
I mean, if you're not drinking Mountain Dew every day, you're not getting poop all over your butt every time you poo, Danny. That's not normal. That's abnormal. If you are getting poo smeared all over your butt every time you poop, then you need to go see your doctor.
This was just the Kroger employee trying to save these people from unnecessary
needing all the toilet paper.
Yeah, okay. So that was the 23 cases of Mountain Dew was going to lead to another big run on the toilet paper.
Yeah.
But so I think that they tried to tell them, okay, you can only buy 4 cases of the Mountain Dew. Yeah. And then they were like, all right, well, then we're going to leave and then we're going to come back in and buy the rest of it. And they were like, no, you can't do that. And that's when they were starting to flip out.
They found a wormhole. They should have done that because you know what would have been so great? Waiting in like a 30-person deep line.
They could have used a wormhole that would have taken them from Kroger to their house. So they could just put the cases of Mountain Dew through.
Doop, boop, doop, boop, doop. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's I think stuff like that where it's just like complete garbage trash, even though it probably tastes good to some people, it's not a necessity to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny's probably rolling over in his grave right now. But
no.
Danny,
there are issues with Mountain.
Yeah. How many days supply of Mountain Dew do you currently have?
Is it a necessity?
So
could you live without it?
I could live without it for sure. It would be painful for about 2 weeks as I go through withdrawals.
The shakes. Yeah.
The shakes, the sweating, which happens anyway, but it would be
they'd have to lock you in your bedroom where you're like shitting all over yourself and sweating like crazy. And
so I don't always have a ton of Mountain Dew. I do have some of it right now.
And now it comes out.
Time.
Oh, I'm the Mountain Dew lover. But actually, guys, dude, I feel like this whole facade is crumbling down in front of me now as you
There is
admit.
one major problem with Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the chemistry behind it. And I don't know if it's just something mentally with me. Maybe some listeners out there can verify this. I think that Mountain Dew does not get as cold in the fridge as some of the other drinks out there. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds weird.
You put ice in it, or that would dilute it?
I think that would dilute it. You wouldn't want to do that. But sometimes I take out a can.
The Mountain Dew is what keeps it a little warmer in fridge scenario.
Honestly, there is something that, because let's say you put a Coke Zero in and you put in a Mountain Dew. Mm-hmm. I promise you, and go home and try this out because you've got all the time in the world to do so.
This is science.
Take them out and just hold them in your hand. That alone will tell you that one is colder than the other, and then drink them. The Mountain Dew never gets as cold. I don't understand it.
Do you add ice or what do you do?
No, I just drink
put it in the freezer. Will it freeze?
Yeah, it would probably explode. I've gotten in trouble for that in the past, so I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
That's a really crazy science experiment that we are going to have to try.
for science.
I'm serious. Someone probably already has observed this as well as me, but go home and try it. Coke Zero gets really cold in the fridge, and then do Mountain Dew. I think it's a good comparison. The Mountain Dew does not get as cold.
Yeah, we have Coke in the fridge, and it gets nice and chilled. And soda only tastes good cold.
No, Coke Zero. It has to be Coke Zero. There's something in it.
I like regular Coca-Cola.
But I'm telling you, if you want to do this this experiment,
you're saying the two sodas that are the biggest is Coke Zero gets colder than any other soda on the market in the fridge.
As far as I can tell, yes, it gets so cold, and it gets cold.
You're the soda guy, like you would know.
I'm also a bit crazy, so maybe don't take what I say.
Are you crazy though, or are you the most normal?
If I'm obsessing over the temperature of Mountain Dew and Coke Zero
in these grave
maybe
times.
I got a little bit more time on my hands.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So another story about somebody who's trying to not act in the appropriate way during this crisis. Another Florida man was charged on last Thursday of stealing 66 rolls of toilet paper from a Marriott in Orlando, Tyson.
Yeah, it's so weird to me. My dad called me and said that there's people in Utah waiting in parking lots in the morning after the seniors get done shopping because they open all the grocery stores earlier. And they are robbing seniors of only toilet paper from their carts. Like running by, snagging a case of toilet paper and taking.
You're gonna rob anybody. Rob seniors. They're so easy to rob.
Babies are too.
That's right. You never hear it's like taking candy from a senior.
Yeah. Because seniors they're not the candy people. Kids
maybe
love
50
candy.
years from now, our kids will be
like taking toilet paper from
an old person. Our grandkids are going to ask,
the whole thing's going to change. From? They're like, what does taking candy from a baby mean? It's like, before taking toilet paper from a geriatric was the saying. We used to say taking candy from a baby.
Yeah.
Turns of phrase, man.
Yeah.
I miss the days when Florida man would ride an emu into the Wendy's drive-thru and chuck an alligator through while high on bath salts. It's like even the Florida man's been sucked
and then lick every burger patty before smearing it.
No licking burger patties.
And
ripping the manager out of the drive-thru window.
Yeah, bathing his feet in ketchup. Those were the days. Remember those days? I mean, those were
if we could just go back to those. And a lot of people at that time were saying
days.
There's got to be something better in the future. And now it's only gotten worse.
Well, it's like now the Florida man can't even get creative.
Can't even be Florida man.
Stills. You can't even. Florida man can't be Florida man in these times.
So Florida man was busted because that he was spotted by a security guard putting a trash bag in his van. Security guard was wondering why would somebody be loading trash into their van, so he looked inside and saw that it was full of toilet paper, valued at 99 cents a roll. A conservative estimate of that valuation,
$52.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this: I know exactly somebody who would load a garbage bag into their vehicle.
Is it Danny?
No, it's my parents who have lived at their current house for 15, 16 years.
Okay.
They are on a little private drive. They have never got any city access for their waste. So my dad takes garbage, drives it down to his work where he puts it in the dumpster at his work. Can you imagine driving just stinky garbage in your Lamborghini down to your office and then throwing it in?
Dad drives a
dumpster?
Lamborghini.
Well, for all intents and purposes, sure.
The most practical car for a guy who works with timber.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's the Lamborghini SUV.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So another industry that has been very hard hit during these times has been, as we were talking about, that Danny was going to get into the adult male review as he's practicing on his stripper pole. But strippers across the country are also feeling this closure of social distancing.
Can't they do it virtually?
Yes, that's one of the things that's certainly on the table. But in Portland, they're trying something new. They are doing following the DoorDash delivery model. They're sending strippers to your homes to do dances for you at a safe distance.
Could you imagine in my
you still can't let them in your house.
They're on my doorstep.
Yeah, they have to follow the Domino's method where they drop the food on the doorstep with the receipt and pen, ring the doorbell, step back 15 feet, watch you come out, sign the receipt, throw it on the ground, pull your pizza inside, and then they grab. So now they're dancing on your front lawn while you enjoy your wings. I guess that's probably what you buy from a strip club.
Yes, there's a couple different things of that. There's one version where the women are going to be delivering food in almost nothing to your house. And I believe they're calling that Boober.
They're going to get the virus if they're in cold climates. That's going to be wearing on their immune
Portland.
system.
I mean, it's not that warm in Portland.
Yeah.
But $30 for
I don't want to look. I don't want to receive food from someone showing
Mostly
too
naked.
much skin, right?
Yeah,
not a morality thing. It's like I just feel like all the
it's a sanitary
thing.
thing.
Sanitation thing. Like,
what if they're all lubed up though? Because that will probably
I guess
hold
a
lot
layer
of
of Vaseline
skin.
could be a protective layer. That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in. You're back in.
No, I mean I know. Plus, again, I can only imagine my neighborhood.
Well, I got a surprise for you, Danny, because you kind of hover around your front doorstep at noon.
Okay, I'll be
because I ordered a Boober for you yesterday that should be arriving from Portland
eventually
today.
Okay, I'm excited. No, this will be a
15 hours
teaching lesson for my children.
Yeah, it really will be. Tyson's bad. Is that
Rome,
what you're going to teach him?
My 4-year-old girl. This could be you.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to me when I teach you my school lessons.
Now, Danny, do you foresee a service with hot guys coming to deliver food to your house anytime soon?
Why not? Muscular men?
I mean, going back to the idea of the male strippers, like I feel like that Tyson, isn't that one of the common male like hey, pizza delivery?
Yeah, I'm here to deliver a pizza, and they're like, "Why are your shorts so sexy?" And you're like, "Because guess what? I'm not a real pizza man."
Right.
Rips off his pants.
Yeah.
Who ordered the sausage?
Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't happened. I guess they're.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened. It has happened.
Did you browse all the classifieds in Florida?
I'm not seeing it. Yeah.
Well, that's because you're on Craigslist.
Are you on Craigslist?
I guarantee you this has happened. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And those exact words were muttered too.
Yeah.
Those exact words. I mean,
we like to credit Danny with being so on the fly and hilarious, and true. That is true. But also, somebody said who ordered
I'm
the
just
sausage.
tapping into the universe. I'm not creating anything. I'm just choosing.
You know that it's been said and you picked it because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll credit you with coming up with
It's a classic trope.
Yeah.
Oh, totally, dude. It's some low-hanging fruit.
Who ordered the extra sausage? It's Italian.
All right. Now, a lot of people are also teleconferencing and taking part in a number of work meetings and classes. And there's been, lots of embarrassing things that are coming out.
Oh, my gosh.
That Danny, have you seen? I know you're a big fan of epic fails. Have you seen this video about the person who ended up bringing her computer into the bathroom?
No, but it's not surprising. Do we have footage of it?
Yeah. Should we play the video?
No, but I can understand it. My little girl did a ballet class through Zoom.
Yes.
And I was held prisoner because I was in my morning attire.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to walk by. I was, I was going to have to walk by the screen while she was doing her ballet. So it was like I was being held prisoner by Zoom.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. And so I thought of all of the incidences like this one that must be taking place all over the U.S.
Okay. You want to hear a little bit of what's going on here in this meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. And if it gets too gross, we'll turn it off. Okay. All right.
Profession is one of the only professions that say that we can never get involved with a former client ever, regardless of how long it's been.
There's about 13 people on the call.
Say a few years or whatever. I think it really depends on just the ethical standards of the profession.
One woman is walking around her house.
Social work kind of has very high standards and good standards in terms of things, and that oftentimes people don't.
Okay, so it's more of a visual thing.
Professions don't have.
for the woman who was on the toilet, and people are just like bursting into laughter. Be careful out there.
It's just it's
okay to be on the toilet unless you're showing your privates.
Is it?
Yeah, like if I were sitting on the toilet
like
here and it was just like,
yeah, it really was just like from the side.
Yeah, it's totally fine. That's fine.
There's nothing to see there, Danny.
Come on, Danny.
Lyndon Johnson used to bring his secretaries into the toilet to take notes while he took a dump. So I guess there's precedence for this type of behavior.
Imagine feeling so important that you have your secretary come in while you're taking a dump and forcing them to. Those were different times, I think.
Yeah.
Well, this girl seems to be comfortable with it.
Yeah. Okay, if you gotta go, you gotta go. You know that.
Leave your computer outside, or I'm sure there's like some option to like.
Yeah, you know what? I would wish that I was like the boss of a company where the people were hung on my every word so much that they would take the computer to the bathroom with them, that they were too afraid that I was gonna miss. They were gonna miss some gold that I was about to drop on them.
That is flattering.
Yeah, it is flattering. Now everybody's been binge watching a bunch of different things. Danny, you watching any movies?
Oh, I've seen more movies this past week.
Anything good
than I have the previous 6 months? No, I've been trying to catch up. I actually did see one movie that I thought was really good.
What was that?
1917.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw
another
Little
downer.
Women.
Yeah.
It's a downer, but I love history, and I'd like the idea that it was one continuous shot. Like that fascinated me.
Yeah.
When it's just a continuous shot the entire time.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I don't know. I'm watching 2020 and it's one continuous shot and it's not great.
No, that's a different. Have you seen 1917?
Tyson, did you see that?
I haven't, but I know that
it's good.
There can never be too many war movies. I love war movies because if you watched every war movie, it would only be like 70 movies a year that you'd be able to watch. War movies are
going back and watching Monk after saying that, like supporting it so much. I'm like, maybe I should go back and watch it just to see if I correctly described it and endorsed it. Like when you endorse something, you're like, wait a minute, I can't remember if that's really how I felt about it. So I thought about going back and watching Monk.
You're going to go back and watch all of Monk?
No, just some of them to just double check that I actually did like it.
Okay. I think you did.
Danny, have you gone and watched Cats yet?
No, I don't do drugs.
No drugs at all?
No drug. I mean, I do like the light stuff,
Mountain Dew,
and ibuprofen, Mountain Dew. But I think it requires heavy drugs to really enjoy it. Seth Rogen put out a whole video of him high watching Cats.
Okay, so there was a lot of talk this week that there was another edition of Cats that, we talked about on this podcast. The Jason Derulo needed to be photoshopped, where there was an earlier version of Cats. I feel like that there's so much talk about all the visual effects that went into Cats. Tyson, where all the cats had buttholes in the movie. And then they went back and they said, no, we can't. We take out all the buttholes.
They did?
Is this true?
And people really wanted to see, they said, we demand to release the butthole cut of Cats because we want to see all the cats with the buttholes. That's what we need.
Yeah, I do actually like that idea. I think they should do that with all because that's like the most, like if you're like, hey, what don't you like about like just cats and dogs wander around? It's like their exposed buttholes is honestly one of the things that I just am like, get that out of my face.
Third eye.
Yeah, the third eye. And so I think it's really genius to put buttholes on all of these in the movie is so good. So good.
So that, Twitter was all buzzing about this. But
whose idea was it?
So it's not an idea. There was a rumor that there was a visual effects producer had said that his job was to remove the CGI buttholes that were put into the movie, which means that there was a butthole cut of Cats.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
But that would actually be more true to life, because then I'd probably believe that they actually were cats instead of knowing that they're humans playing cats. With the buttholes, you'd be like, they for sure have to be cats.
And it would be a weird call to remove all of the genitals, but it put the buttholes in.
Yeah, that would be weird. Or to leave the buttholes with the genitals gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, to be fair, genitals and buttholes, I don't think are exactly on the same tier of I don't even know the word for it. Do you think they're the same? Like if you were like flipping through a book and there was just like a cat butthole, would you be like, okay, I expect to see balls now?
Oh, I never really thought about this before.
He hasn't created the list of things he'd prefer to see when it comes to animal genitalia.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the same. I think you can get rid of the genitalia and leave the buttholes.
Okay. So what was then clarified later was that a anonymous crew member said that no, there were not actually buttholes inserted, but in a lot of shots, there were things that resembled buttholes and then they were removed. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the costumes or what, but they looked like that certain costumes had buttholes.
Like the artist that makes all the flowery things that look like vaginas, this instead was a movie of only butthole-y looking things, and they had to change that.
Yes.
That's what I'm picturing now, where like every single second of the background, you're like, that looks like a butthole. Oh, it's just a building window. Oh, that looks like another butthole. That's the movie.
I can't believe I heard the word butthole so much in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like, I've just been sitting here.
Sphincter?
I haven't said anything. I've just been listening
to
that
butthole.
word.
I heard you say it.
No, I haven't really been saying anything. I've just been listening to you guys use that word over and over and over again.
Were you offended, Danny?
Or aroused?
No. It's a hilarious word. I'm telling you, I just haven't heard it in a long
funny
time.
Word. And it's a real throwback to like
came out of nowhere. Yeah.
All right,
nostalgic.
Danny,
would you ready? Watch Cats if it had more buttholes?
I wouldn't watch it for any reason unless
Not
all
any
of us
amount
agree.
Of buttholes would make you watch it.
No. There's no amount.
What if your family was kidnapped and that was the ransom? You had to watch Cats
with buttholes inserted.
I'd do that, guys.
Yeah,
I'd
love
do
your
that.
family.
What if your
It'd be
neighbor
a great story to tell later?
Said, Danny, I won't mow my lawn at nighttime anymore if you watch Cats.
I would definitely do it. I would so do that.
Are they still mowing their lawn?
Her yard. She's already started.
Yeah,
mowing her lawn. It's too early. She stopped in
throwing
December.
handfuls of gravel over on the lawn yet?
So it's beginning. It's like quarantine with a lawnmower.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Danny, are you ready to take us to your
bolt
hole?
Bolt hole.
All right.
Glad we have it back this week.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
They say bolt hole, right, Tyson?
Yeah, bolt hole.
Bolt hole.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, one publication, I don't know if you call them publications, online news place, has found time out of their coronavirus hype to do a little millennial bashing. Remember how that was such a big thing before?
Yeah, to bash millennials.
Yeah, like, hey, stupid millennials can't do this. And I had a problem with it when I saw it because it's such a stupid thing to bash millennials about, which most millennials.
What is it, avocado toast again?
Yeah.
No, it says nearly 2/3 of millennials can't work an iron, while 42% say they find it difficult to change a duvet cover.
Yeah.
Both worthless things.
Like I'm not a millennial.
Who cares? Yeah.
And it's like I can't iron. You can
figure it out, and all millennials could figure it out if they had to or needed to, but nobody needs to iron anymore because you have wrinkle-free settings on your dryer.
And nobody's going anywhere.
And it only cost $1 to get your shirt dry cleaned and pressed anyways.
Well, that's a good deal.
And it's not you're not required to show up at work with a starch shirt. This isn't the 50s. You know what I mean?
Starch. Like, go heavy on the starch. I want that thing crisp.
I want that. I want you to be able to slice paper with that collar. It's like such a stupid thing to say, hey, millennials, you can't do this. This was written by someone who's obviously over the age of 60. right?
Yeah.
Like
who's so mad that their granddaughter doesn't know how to iron when she asked her to iron her duvet covers.
Publication did this. So
this is a poll of 4,200 Britons, but I'm sure it applies to most of us, age 25 to 39.
Oh, and I thought this was more of an article of like a grandma being like, "Hey, granddaughter, would you mind ironing all the duvet covers and then putting them on?" And she's like, Okay. So
and 62% were baffled by the settings and the steam button. I just steam like at random parts. I'm like, I think you're supposed to like spray steam at super wrinkled areas.
That when you steam when the wrinkles aren't coming out with the iron, you just steam it.
Okay, so I've got that right.
Yeah. What are you ironing, Danny?
What are you ironing,
maybe
Danny?
Once a year. The other day I did have a very, very wrinkled shirt. That
you just throw it back in the wash and dryer, or you hang it up by your shower and take an extra hot shower.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done both of those. But by the way, there is no bigger scam in the world than the wrinkle-free shirt. Because unless you time it perfectly, getting it out of the dryer, it'll be as wrinkled as anything else.
We have a wrinkle-free setting on our dryer that will spin every once in a while until you take everything out, so it never lets it settle.
Well, I feel like it's the goop of the garment industry, like the whole wrinkle-free bull crap.
Yeah,
but
it could be, the other thing, whatever, man.
I know. Just nobody even needs to worry about that. Very few people actually need an iron shirt unless you're working. I was about to say, unless you're working on Wall Street. No one's working on Wall Street. The other thing is 42% say they find it difficult to change a duvet cover. Duvet covers are super hard and obnoxious to change.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even use a duvet and I never will.
It's just like, it is such a pain to get your comforter in the duvet cover.
Yeah. Danny, do you have a mountain duvet?
Oh my gosh, that sounds delightful. Whatever that could be.
A mountain duvet.
Yeah.
Guys, someone spent money on this survey. So this is the thing that it wasn't so much the survey. It was like the fact that someone spent money to find out that people can't iron and they struggle working with their duvet cover. It's like, come on, couldn't we have surveyed something else? Like how many people would like to see cats with buttholes on it? Like that would be a better survey than this one.
Yeah. All right. There you go, Danny. Anything else?
Oh, I've got nothing. Guys, I want everyone to know that I spent like a week mining the news for a non-COVID-19 story. Like seriously, like just scanning everything that would be somewhat informative and entertaining. And it's like impossible. They're rare gems when you come across something that isn't tied to this thing.
I've got a couple things.
Oh, yes.
I've got a joke that I wanted to use at the beginning of this segment when we were talking about bolt hole. I wanted to say an easy way to remember that is nuts and bolts holes. Not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because the joke is that nuts and buttholes also works.
Oh.
And
that's
the other
true.
thing I wanted to say was a surprise for all our listeners. We are going to do a special News AF podcast on Friday. Right? We're doing this, right, guys?
Yes. Friday. I said at the top of the show, Tuesday edition of News AF. We're going to do a Friday edition. We'll be back. Since people are around when we do the show, let's do a Friday edition of News AF. We're
not doing this for them. We're doing this for us. If we're really being honest.
For us. Yes. And so the Friday edition of News AF is coming. And I think that what we want to do is take a lot of questions from our Facebook group and then be able to do, we'll cover whatever news is happening on Friday. But then also, in addition, we'll end up doing whether you need advice, you want to know about certain things that are not happening on reality TV shows or anything like that, then you can go ahead. We'll start that question thread for the Friday edition of News AF.
That's correct. And other than that, take care, everybody. Be healthy and happy. Take care of the ones you love. Yeah. If you get bored, I've been churning out as much Instagram content
I've heard
as
you
I can.
really. I haven't been on the gram very much, but I heard you're killing it on Instagram, Tyson.
Who told you?
Josh Wigler.
Yeah, it's true. I am, dude. I did a ask me the question thing on Instagram. Yeah. I got, no joke, over 2,000 questions.
2,000 questions.
Wow. How'd you keep up with that?
I couldn't. I only did. I picked and choose like 20 or 30 of them. I just went through and looked at the ones I wanted.
What did you do? You type out the answer, or you read the answer?
I read the answer, but I didn't. Yeah. What I do is then you can add to your story with the question, and then I just answer it real quick without even reading the question or putting it in answer form, so that it was really quick answers. But it was overwhelming. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It was crazy. Maybe I'll do that again at some point.
Okay.
But if you want to follow along on my workouts, I've been doing a bunch of them, and I keep forgetting to hit the record button, but I'm breaking a lot of CrossFit world records right now.
Oh, that's Smashing rocks in the backyard, right? Yeah. Cutting down logs and carrying them over your shoulder from, one end to the other.
Doing fake pull-ups where you do the swingy medili thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All of it.
I get all my workout tips from the starting of the movie Commando.
Really? Basically, I do the Rocky IV montage.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good. Isn't that the one where he's in Russia pulling the sled and cutting the trees down,
running with the log really on his shoulder in the snow in Sorels? Yeah.
Yeah. In Commando, it's very much the same. He cuts down this way too big tree. Like, what's he even going to do with it? Right? It's like half a tree, carries it over his shoulder towards his house. And it's like, dude, that's not even ready for splitting wood. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But both are great exercises and free.
Paula asks to Danny, what's your skin regimen? And Rob and I are instantly offended.
So my wife actually controls most of my life, and she gives me all sorts of things. I don't know what they are. I put mysterious creams.
This is very interesting. Yeah.
I put mysterious creams on my face. I could be. I don't know what I put on my face.
Yeah.
She just says, you need to have this. The one thing I won't do is she wants me to wash my face before I go to bed. And I'm like, that's just too much. Like, I take my showers pretty late in the day, and then I'm going to wash my face
right after.
And then I'm going to put all this stuff on. It's like, I can't.
So you're going to goop up, wash your face, and then re-goop essentially.
Exactly. I can only goop my face once a day.
Yeah.
And, it's later in the day. But once I've gooped my face, I'm done gooping.
So why don't you do an Instagram story with some of the products you use for
Tyson? Let me make something
I get
clear.
asked all the time about what's my daily skincare.
Come on,
regimen.
Danny, are you kidding me? You're not going to do an Instagram story about that?
No. Let me tell you the problem is the things I love more than anything in the world, not my children, not my wife, is my gear. Right? I love gear. But even with my gear,
is that a code name for your genitals?
No, for my or for drugs? No, like my ski gear, my running gear. And even if I was to do I try to do product reviews on those. I don't even really know that much about the stuff I love the most. I don't really.
All you have to do is be like, hey, a lot of people are complimenting me on my great facial skin. And here's the stuff I use. I wash with this, I use this, and then you zoom in on the product, and then people can buy it if they want to, and you don't have to know anything or the science behind any of it. All we want to know is the glop you're putting on your face.
But here's my problem with something like that. I feel like a snake oil salesman. If I don't understand what I'm selling, I probably should not be selling it. Because one, genetics plays more of a role in almost all of these things when it comes to fitness, to health, to all of these things.
So you're saying you have superior genetics to Rob and I.
I'm just saying I might. And so what I put on my face might not matter. I haven't done any research to see what any of it does.
Do you do an expensive
why don't you do a disclaimer beforehand? You can do a disclaimer and just be like, look, guys, I probably have better genetics than everybody, but here's also what I put on my face.
A month from now, you want me to turn into the new Gwyneth Paltrow? The 2020.
She's not doing so bad for herself now, is she, Danny?
That's true,
People
but
are still buying jade eggs.
At this time, jade eggs bring a lot of comfort to people. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't know enough to tell you exactly what it is that I use. I definitely wouldn't want to do it because so much of how your face looks or how fit you are is determined at birth, not necessarily by the stuff you spend a lot of money on. And so to turn around and pitch stuff I don't understand would be a disservice to everyone listening, thinking that, I can go and do the exact same thing, get the exact same results. It's not how it works.
With that disclaimer. Not if you use that disclaimer in the story.
if people really listen to that disclaimer, hopefully they'd be like, okay, good. I'm not going to watch because that's totally true.
Yeah.
I'm not going down that road.
But Tyson, do you do anything for your skincare regimen?
Yeah, I just buy random glop that says that it's like supposed to reduce wrinkles or make me look younger or something. But I only ever put it on after I shower, and I don't even shower every day. So you're supposed to put it on like twice daily, and I put it on like 3
Here's
times
the other
a
thing.
week.
Her compliment might be a result of my low light in this room, my high ISO.
Don't minimize the
my
compliment,
features.
Danny, like that.
What I'm saying is like there's
you
so
look
many
great.
factors. Thank you, Tyson. But if she saw me in person, like at the grocery store,
She'd be
standing above the
disappointed.
hot soup bar,
Yeah.
she'd probably be like, "Oh, dude, he's short."
You don't think the steam from the hot soup bar will smooth
Open my
you out
pores?
a little bit and open up those pores? Yeah.
Yeah, probably a little bit. But this is actually a great subject for Friday. Not so much a News AF subject.
Okay. All right. So these are the kinds of things we could talk about on Friday. Danny's skincare regimen. How many times a day Tyson takes a shower. All your burning questions will be answered on Friday. Special edition of News AF.
Yep.
And
Tune
of
in
course,
on Friday.
hey, this is a great time to subscribe to News AF, newsaf.news. You could subscribe to the podcast, and it's a great time to leave us a rating and review.
I will read a ton of reviews next
on
time.
Friday. On Friday.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Good.
Let's do it.
A ton of reviews.
We'll get into that on Friday as well. Newsaf.news. Is there a chance right now, Tyson? This could be the news podcast that people are looking for right now.
It's for sure the news podcast people are looking for right now. I don't think there's any question that this is where most people want to be and should be.
Okay. All right. So that's all coming up on our Friday edition of News AF. And of course, you could follow Danny on Instagram. He's at Danny Bryson. Follow Tyson Apostle at Tyson Apostle. I'm at Rob Sestrino. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
We did it, guys.
Okay, we're still live. We're gonna stop the recording.
We can be live for a second. I'll stop my recording.
Okay. All right. How was that, everybody?
I liked it.
Yeah,
you did a good job.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
What do you guys have going on the rest of the day?
Ooh, I think I'll probably stay inside and do a bunch more workouts, and then forget to record myself doing them and just post about them. Tell everybody what I just did.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go run for as long as my wife will let me, and then come home, battle children until we're all exhausted and then fall asleep
in the arena.
Yeah, seriously, the arena. I should erect an octagon and be like, you don't want to do your homework? Then beat me in a fight.
Yeah,
like
you're going to fight your own kids.
I had a teacher once who said, if you do more push-ups than me, you don't have to come to class.
How many muscle-ups?
And I did 75 push-ups, which I've never done, ever.
Okay.
Like, it was a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
He did 76 push-ups so 76 easily.
Push-ups.
He only had to beat me by one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
It was the most depressing day of my life. Like I thought I was going to get out of class. There's no way this
worse than today.
Old-timer. Oh yeah. I'm like, there's no way this old timer can do 76 push-ups.
Well, he knew that he could beat everybody. Otherwise he would have never put that out there, Danny. I don't know why you're still baffled by the whole thing.
I was a child. I was so excited. I was in high school. I'm not ever going to have to come back to this class.
Young buck. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm so young and strong. And he's just a gross old guy. And dude, he just whipped them out and embarrassed me. It was a horrible experience.
In front of your wife and kids?
They weren't there. No, but in front of my peers, Tyson, my peers.
Even worse.
Okay. All right. Well, let me jump off because I got to go see what's going on downstairs at my house.
Okay. Let us know if there's an emergency. Maybe Instagram story that.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.